There are a lot of private universities in Brazil, and if you notice, you see that so many content creator like Brazilian content creator, abi Nigerians in Brazil content creator does not talk about private universities. They exist and they are functioning. They take international students. You pay school fees. The school fees around 2,000, 3,000 US dollar depending on school, more than that for some. But I feel like the reason most Africans basically, or most Nigerians, doesn't go through university, or doesn't go through private university to come to Brazil is because of the visa rates. Okay, so this is how it works. If you apply to these schools, you get admitted, you know, all those things, you get your admission letter, whatever it is to apply for your visa. It's very smooth, yeah. In fact, private universities are the easiest to get admission in Brazil, because if you leave it to the public university, federal ones, Jesus, you go first, you go first. But for the private university, it's very easy. But it boils down to the visa application. So when you get to the embassy, to the oga pata pata, yo, they will accept your application. You know, you pay the visa fee and stuff. But it now comes down to the motive. Why are you going to Brazil? I want to go and study. Okay. Which school? Okay, this school. Okay. You pay school fees. Wow, rich kids. Okay. So if you have this kind of money, like if you have a lot of money to pay to a private university in Brazil, that they don't speak English. You. So if you have that money to go and pay, let's say that the school will even teach you in English. What about after school? So you'll be struggling after school in a country that you're paying money to go to school. Are you whining me? So they'll ask you now, okay, so you're going to Brazil, you are paying that kind of money in a non-English speaking country. Oh. Why? Why? The first thing they're going to tell you is this, like, okay, if you have that money to go and study in a private university in Brazil, why don't you pay that same money in a private university in your country, in a private university in Nigeria? Even in Nigeria, public universities, you pay. So why don't you use that money to support the economy of the country? If you should ask me, that is a reasonable question to ask somebody, okay? So that is a reasonable question. Okay, so the reason you see that a lot of student visa got approved is because, one, Brazil does not speak English, and for you to apply to come to this school, that one is a sacrifice on its own. Okay, you are telling them that, abeg o, make una help me o, I don't have money to pay school fees o, in fact sef I no get money to rent house o, abi to chop o, anything wey una give me I go dey collect. That is the motive. Like, there is a reason for that. The reason is that, okay, even if you have, the reason is that they believe that, okay, for you to be applying to that school, you don't have enough. You need help. Okay, you need the scholarship, but when you're applying to a private school, especially when it is a university, and the kind of university that they pay a lot of money, you can also pay that money in your country. Like, you can also, I'm not saying that the private university are not good, oh, but if you want to apply to this private university, make sure that you are already inside Brazil. If you're already inside Brazil, any school you apply to, there is no issue. You will get your thing, okay? Maybe any school you apply to, you will get your visa, you get everything. But if you are outside, I'm sorry, but I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao.